This is stressful, I'll admit. This is starting to get to me now, but it's all right. I've got a plan. And what I've done is I've done a list. I've got a list. I'm not very good with lists. I'm not very good with anything organising, but we're all in this, we've all been given this opportunity. We're all in lockdown, we can't go anywhere, we can't really do much. But it's a massive opportunity in the way that we could use this to work out what we're good at and what we're bad at and try and improve that. So what I'm going to do is I'm going to work through the list I've created as to what I'm going to do during these hopefully only a few weeks in lockdown, because yeah, my mind creatively is starting to go a bit nuts and I need to have some sort of plan so when we come out of this I'll have achieved something, right? And I want it to make a difference. So yeah, I'm going to share this list with you. This is what I'm going to do, and if it's any use to you, then obviously you can implement this in your photography. And yeah, we'll come out and we'll learn something together. So anyway, here we go. So right, what am I going to do? Well, basically, I've made a list of what I actually think that I'm crap at in photography. So I've written a list of everything I feel like I'm just not very good at or needs to be improved or I've got limited experience in, and I'm going to use this opportunity to find ways of improving that. So things like grading video. I don't know if you guys notice when you watch my videos that it's all pretty much straight out of camera. There's never anything creative. I know a lot of people will film their videos in log modes and grade them, and I just can't do that. I'm rubbish at it. So yeah, I'm definitely going to look at tutorials online for grading video and work out how to do that. Fujifilm's got a fantastic Eterna profile, which I'm terrified to use because it's so flat and looks lifeless, but it's really cinematic, and if you know how to grade it, it can look fantastic. So I'm going to look into that. Organise in Lightroom. Right. I'm crap at it. I just can't get my head around the catalogues. I've got about 15 hard drives. I work off these little SSD things. Just dropped something off the floor. So I'm always sort of chucking files from hard drive to hard drive, and I never know the best way of organising the catalogue. So I know I've got good friends who are very, very good at that, so I'll be reaching out to them and asking them for help. But hopefully at the end of this I'll understand a better way of navigating through and how I should be organising my Lightroom catalogue. Proper rating systems, proper categories, and everything just basically being in the right place. I'm looking forward to that. Yeah, I'm dreadful at that. Video editing tutorials. My video editing is rather basic. All my corporate clients that I work with, they just want their videos to be creative but more fast. You know, they want fast turnaround. So the idea of doing fancy transitions and quirky creative styles in editing just doesn't suit them, because they need the video a lot quicker than that. So I've never really been given the opportunity or been put in a position where I needed to learn that. So yeah, definitely going to look at video editing tutorials. Nothing fancy, but just some basics that I probably need to incorporate in certainly my YouTube videos. So yeah, looking forward to being able to do that. Big one for me has always been planning. I'm dreadful at planning. I don't really, anything that's more than a week away, I just don't know, or a holiday. That, you know, I just really wish I could do it. I know a lot of photographers like Alan Wallace I follow on YouTube, astrophotographer, fantastic photographer, because of his ability to plan and look forward to events that are coming up within the night sky. So just being able to plan is going to dramatically, I think, improve my photography and improve the ability to know where to go when we obviously get this, you know, the freedom back, but we'll know where to go and have basically like maps. Julian Baird actually suggested My Maps, which is just a Google facility, and you can actually create your own layers over the map. So you could have a sunset locations, you could have astro locations, you could have sunrise locations, and you could have these different layers in the map. And I think that's really, really important, and definitely something I wish I'd started about 3 years ago whenever I started my landscape photography journey. So yeah, looking forward to having a good, strong resource to where my locations are going to be, but also how to understand things like the weather, the tides, where the light's going to be different times of the year, how the moon influences the tide, things that I just don't know. And I'm probably, you know, you guys probably watching this now thinking, well, you know, I find that easy, but the actual other side of photography, you might struggle with. Well, for me, it's the planning, and obviously it's great fun just to grab the camera and run out the door, but I think if there's certain locations that I know are going to work in better conditions, or certain high tide or certain low tide, or there's even a lighthouse down South Wales, which I know that because the tide comes in so fast, it's really, really dangerous. So you've got to plan that so that you don't get cut off. So yeah, just having that ability to plan and being a bit more safe is definitely something I need to implement in my photography. Critique my images. I'm going to go through and basically collate a load of images that I want to produce, like either a little zine, which is a little like brochure sort of thing, or eventually I'd like to produce a book. My first year in street photography, for example, and then my second year in street photography, and then not necessarily every year from then on, but just have something tangible that I can look back and actually turn the pages, get it printed nicely. Only for me, I probably wouldn't sell anything, but just have a collection. Again, that comes down to how organised my Lightroom catalogue is going to be, but just to have a collection that I'm really, really proud of. So if you ask me now for my top 10 street photography images, I couldn't find them. They're somewhere, they're on one of the hard drives in different folders, but it needs to be organised, and I need to know exactly within a split second how to find them, and yeah, tag in like meta tags in Lightroom. Never done it. I probably should. So yeah, things like that. So I'm definitely going to go through, critique my images, look at what I like, look at what I don't like, and then file that down to get a lot more a stronger collated portfolio, basically. But obviously that will go for my landscape images as well. Now this is an important one, something I've never done, and that is create a blog. I've never done it, and I know how important blog posts are, because obviously I recommend them to my customers who are trying to push their SEO and push their websites and stuff, and I've never done one ever with any of my websites. So I'm looking forward to creating a blog. I'm not a particularly good writer, but a few of my friends do it, and it's all dead basic, dead easy going, nice and light-hearted. So I don't know how good a writer you have to be, but I'm just going to try it, have a bit of fun with it, and see how, just give it half an hour per post and see what happens. But on that, update my website, and both text and images. My website is diabolical. Head over, check it out, give me some feedback on it. But the images on there, a lot of them say like the wedding photographs are very old, which I don't recommend. I think you should always keep your images up to date so people can see your current workflow, your current standard, your current style of photography. And my images on my website are, for the most part, definitely more than 18 months old, which I definitely need to update. Certainly the text as well. I think I did the website in about 3 days. Built it myself, and I created the text and everything in a bit of a rush. So now I've got the luxury of time. We can go through and sort that out, and probably correct some obvious grammar errors. Prepare images for a street book. Right, okay, I've mentioned that. Organise and back up hard drives. Now it's difficult because obviously I've got the YouTube channel, I've got my commercial video, so I go through 8 terabyte hard drives like fun. It's ridiculous. And it's difficult then when you buy one hard drive, you've got to buy 2 for a physical backup. But I need to perhaps go through, and I don't like deleting stuff, but I need to go through and make sure that hard drives, I know by looking at that hard drive without plugging it in exactly what's going to be on it. I don't know if I have to put out a spreadsheet or something like that just to have on the wall, say hard drive number, whatever. I don't know. I'm going to have to research that. Again, it's just something that I'm really, really poor at as far as organisation, but I know I've got probably 8 or 10 hard drives here, big ones with a lot of stuff on that can probably be deleted, a lot of videos that you guys never saw that can probably be deleted, move stuff around. But it always terrifies me. Anything to do with hard drives and storage always terrifies me. In fact, I had somebody email me the other day asking me for advice on storage, and I'm not the person to be giving it. I know Julian Baird actually did a video on storage. I'll put a link to that in the description. Learn split toning, right? So many of you guys rave about split toning, and I've never obviously I've known it, but I've never tried it. So I really need to give that a go, and I need to see, but maybe in a year's time, or when autumn comes, when the oranges and browns and everything are more obvious, then I'll be able to really appreciate the knowledge that I've just learned from split toning. So yeah, that might be really a good time to learn split toning. And you never know, I might look back and think, well, what was I doing for the last 3 years? Why didn't I know how to do this? But I know a lot of people, I don't know how it even affects black and whites. Maybe it doesn't affect black and whites, things like that, I don't know. So I'm going to look at that. That isn't on the list actually, but yeah, definitely black and whites. Actually, another one that isn't on the list is different black and white editing softwares. Now, I shoot Fujifilm and I love the black and white straight out of camera, or what you can achieve in Lightroom. But there's software out there that does, I know Kevin Mullins uses different software for his editing black and whites, and I've always wondered why. I know they're not free, but I'm going to look into it and see what the difference is, and then maybe try and get like a trial or something like that, or just try and appreciate what is going on with that black and white editing software, because yeah, I'd like to improve my black and white editing software. So research street and landscape photographers. I've never really done it, and I'm a bit of ashamed to say it, but I'm trying to build a collection of books. I've got about 10 books on landscape photography and street photography, and I do read them, and it's only recently in the last 6 months that I've actually started reading them, and I'm actually learning a lot about the way the photographer thinks, the reason why he took the picture. And when you look at the photograph afterwards, it makes you realise that it's not just a case of don't like it, skip, or whatever, like you would do on Instagram. But there's a lot to learn from the way that people actually see a photograph and why they took the photograph, why they implemented the variables in the image that they did. So I think that's really, really important. And I think, especially with street photography, going back 50 years or 40 years to the previous generation of street photographer, there's so much we can learn from their photography, their style, what drew them to the scene, and I just think that now is a brilliant opportunity, now that I've got all this time, all this luxury of time, to actually go through and have a look at their photography, and obviously get to know the photographer as well. There's certain really famous photographers that I really couldn't tell you anything about, and I think that's a bit of a shame. So yeah, definitely go look at that. Okay, so that's it. Improve my film developing skills. Now, I love developing film, but because I was quite scared initially when I started doing it, I had a friend, Chris, who lives local, help me out on a few YouTube videos. Ted Vieira, such like that, Matt Day, helped me out on the getting started with film developing black and white now in the house. So, and I've really, really enjoyed that. But I know there's going to be more to learn, and film is opened up a can of worms, really. There's so many things you can learn with shooting film and developing film and editing film and scanning film and just the post-processing and all that sort of thing. So with film, there's definitely so many things I know I can learn, because I've only just really skimming the surface. Hence why I've never done a how to develop film in the house video. So next one is try macro and abstract photography in the house. Now, I've already given this a go over the last couple of days. It's really, really good because the X100V focuses nice and close. So is that even in the shot? I don't even know if it's in the shot, I can't see. So it just opens up this ability just to walk around the house looking for really nice textures, nice details, nice lights, nice contrast. And I think I'm not really a fan of macro photography. I think I've seen some shots that people have taken over the years and just thought, wow, that looks really, really cool. But it's never been something I particularly wanted to have a go at. I've always appreciated the genre of photography, but I've never really been drawn to it that much. So maybe now I've got an extension tube, I can put it on the back of this lens here, the 16-55, and have a go at it, and just try and appreciate it. And I know things like the focus stacking and all that sort of stuff. So I know the basics of how it works. I've done it a few times for clients with jewellery and stuff, but nothing ever arty. And I think perhaps I need to give that a go. Abstracting a house, I do love. I think putting your camera in black and white, high contrast, exposing for the light, and walking around looking through. I mean, great having digital cameras because we can see how the contrast changes as you walk around. Looking for nice strong lines in your furniture and stuff. I seen a cool picture on the back of my chair the other day, and that was just because the light was coming through the window and it caught the back of the rails of the chair and it left a nice pattern there. So I thought I'd take that. And yeah, really, really nice contrasty abstract image. That basically thought, you know what, there might be a video in this. Right, so watch this space. I'm probably going to do a video on when we get the light again. It's gone crap outside. So as soon as we get the light again, I'll do a video on abstract in the house, because that was really good fun. And I must admit, it's addictive. You can walk around the house all day looking for different shapes and patterns and stuff. So yeah. On a serious note, rethink my business plan. Now, I had a business plan when I started my company about 14, 15 years ago. I've been running it 18 years, but it took me about probably 5 years to actually give it some thought. And now, since I lost my photography studios about 8 years ago, I've never really had a business plan. I've just been working with the customers that I've had up till now. So I'd like to change the business slightly. I'd like to go down a slightly different route. So I think now's a good opportunity to get some structure in the business, to think about what the customers are going to be, what the customers need, what I can offer them, and then how I can make the product different and better, a better experience perhaps for the customer. So yeah, there's going to be a bit of a SWOT analysis happening over the next couple of days with the business as well. So yeah. And finally, shoot portraits of my family. I love taking pictures of little Ellis. He's 7 months old now. He's oblivious to everything, the lucky sod. And I really, really enjoy taking pictures of him. He's a fantastic little kid. And obviously, I'm never in it. I'm always behind the camera, so I'm never in any of the pictures. And it'd be nice to have some family portraits using the video lights or something like that. This great big thing that's shining in my face. Just do something creative, and perhaps have some pictures I can print. Got the printer here. Print some nice images, black and white, something arty, perhaps all over the house, just to fill time. Because yeah, I think this is a really good opportunity for all of us. It's scary as hell. The first couple of days, I really didn't feel very good. I felt like I'd lost all my ability to be creative. I felt the idea of being closed in. I mean, I'm lucky. I've got a field next to the house. I've got a big sort of woodland at the other side of my fence and everything. So I'm really lucky, and I understand that. And you guys might be watching this from a flat in the city centre, and I really do feel for you. But the idea of being restricted and not able to go anywhere is terrifying. But if you ask yourself, what is it you're rubbish at, right? Ask yourself and write down 10 things that you feel that you're not very good at in photography, or just general organisation or life, right? Write them down, and if you can do 3 of them really well, if you can iron out 3 things from that list that you're not very good at, by the time this is all finished, you're just going to look back and think, do you know what? In a way, I'm glad it happened, because we were given this opportunity. So I'm going to end the video there, but obviously do hit the subscribe button, and yeah, hopefully I'll be able to work through a few videos the next couple of days. I've got nothing else planned, so I should be able to get a few videos down for you. But yeah, hope you enjoyed. I hope it's useful for you. I'll leave a list of all the things I've discussed in the description below. And yeah, you could, if any of these are going to be any use to you, then feel free to copy. I'll put a hashtag on the screen as well, so if you guys do any photography and it's based on any of the ideas that I've come up with, do tag me on your Instagram posts. I think I'll put Get at home or something like that. I don't know. I'll put something on the screen there anyway, so you can check that out, and do tag me on Instagram. But yeah, if I haven't mentioned it yet, but obviously as of for the next foreseeable future until the government help us out, like every other photographer that's self-employed, completely unemployed now. So I've set up a Patreon account, and if you would be so kind and you appreciate the channel, and you want to support the channel and support me and my family, then obviously this isn't something I would ever dream of doing for my channel. But if you do value the channel, and hopefully you've picked something up for the channel over the years, then do head over to Patreon, and yeah, just price for coffee or whatever. But there's no obligation. I appreciate it. It's not something I ever wanted to ask my viewers to do. But anyway, I hope you enjoyed the video, and I'll see you again soon. Take care, be safe, and stay indoors. Thanks for watching.